Hi everyone, you're watching John FX. In this video, I'm going to make technical analysis for the coming week. We'll have a look at main pairs, important levels, and possible entry points. So we are starting with euro dollar as usual, and it is 4-hour chart. So we will have a look at what happened previously and how useful my levels were, what could have been done, and of course what I will be looking at possible entry points for this week. So this is the 4-hour chart. We're looking at the bigger picture, and so you can see euro dollar had a recovery this week. So one of the expectations I had, like I was telling you, because of the big drop, remember we always expect a correction, right? After one movement, you expect a correction opposite direction or creation of possible pattern. So, and euro dollar decided to have a correction. It was quite big. It's actually made quite pretty much the whole way of moving up with the previous drop, right? So, but I still think that it will continue the way down. Of course, this might finish the movement because we are still in the downtrend channel, and quite possibly, yes, it can finish it. And but still, it didn't touch the bottom of the level. And also with the news around eurozone and coronavirus affecting euro zone countries, European countries, so I still see it should drop. Okay, so that's what I think. So don't forget to, of course, follow the news, what's happening, also economical news, right, and political news. So that's why. So now let's see the entry points you had, where I was pointing out the areas. So this is where I was telling you I would wait for the pair to come back into this area, and this is where I will be looking at placing the pending orders. So that was the area to do so. So now it's it moved back in one of the areas where I actually had previous entries, but it is very messy. That's what I'm trying to show you, is that you see how to jump out and jump down from the area I had previous trades. So here you see it was a bit more smooth. Now it's not. That's why right now I don't see entry point particular. I would just have to see what's going to happen is if it will come down and sit between the levels, or maybe it will jump on top and continue moving around here this area, or it will go underneath this level. So that's the first area to look for. Of course, if there could be gaps and jumps, it might jump up or jump down, and then I will see where it will go. So, but my entry points will be around those areas, levels, right? So if nothing is going to happen here, then I would wait for it to go to the next level around here, and if it will go and ignore this and jump here somewhere, so that would be another level, and next level, and back down again. So, and if it will jump over this level, so this is the next one. So all the same levels at this moment, all the same channel, and still looking into now a possible, it had enough of correction, and now I'll just be more looking towards turning around once again and continuing this downtrend channel. So that's my view on euro dollar. So now we're going to dollar yen, and just as I expected, once again, you see, this is where the area point was. Remember, I told you this was the entry point, and I was waiting for it when it went down here. So this is also for our chart. That's our week. I was expecting the possible go back in this area or consolidate around here. It didn't do anything like that. It jumped quite hard, fall, had a bit of the movements here, and fall even more. So expectation was go inside this channel, right? Remember I was telling you, yes, one of the expectations, it will go inside the channel, and it's actually even broke out from it, okay, and stuck in about the same levels as we had before. And of course, after such a big drop, I would expect a possible correction, okay. And remember that I was moving this channel so many times, and one of the movements was to pick up the level, the top where it's going to stop, where it stopped exactly in one of these previous levels, and a little bit of this. So it was showing us a bit of the area that could have been stopped, and you see it's pretty much accurate. And so now I'm going to move the levels once again, because we have this bottom. Remember, I'm telling you, when it comes to these moments, we have to move and see where to get for another entry point, right? That's what we're looking for. So now I'm moving down again to see if I can connect the bottoms and how good the tops will be giving me the idea that it could possibly be an area to look for entry points, okay? So it's not exactly very well. So you see, it still could be a little bit lower. touching properly all those stops. Okay, so but it takes out those ones, and so yes, it might possibly continue just the way down before it will start to consolidate around here. So at this moment I'm just going to move. So you see, for now, for me, there is no entry point. It is a bit of waiting time and to see where it's going to start to consolidate, because right now it's just the drop, and that's it. There is no correction starting, there is no consolidation, and yes, it tells that it would need to have a correction, but we have all this coronavirus news, and because of that, of course, yen can continue get stronger against dollar. So that's why for dollar yen at this moment, I would just see some consolidation in this area, right? So with the opening the market, we'll see, could be obviously gaps. So if it will not do anything, will not jumps or anything, so that will be the first area. The best area probably would be if it will go down here, but because it has quite a bit of, like you see, sharp movements, it might not be that narrow, it might be just a bit bigger, but that's kind of a bit of the area. And because of this news was happening in the world, and where I would see it could possibly go is, of course, to something like that, right? So it quite easily reach this level once again. So it's a bit of the way, but you can see how big the movement was down, and you see at the same time we are kind of back into this channel, right? So we change, so that's why, of course, that would be quite area where it might have a consolidation, and we might start to have a bit of a correction. So otherwise, with all of the news in the world is happening right now, so it might have consolidation and just continue its way down to drop. So you see, it's once again, it's either direction, and also there will be news, American news, right? Non-farm payroll, don't forget that. And so we will be looking at how and where it will prepare for those news too. And except, like I'm saying, it kind of looks like at this moment quite a lot of this coronavirus influence, a lot of it. So yeah, at this moment, like I'm trying to say, I wouldn't say, of course, like I would say it would have been a possible correction. So if it will go from here up, let's see if it will go back in the same area, because it would be slightly in the middle, right, of our channel. Okay, so that's why if it will go, then this would be my possible entry point once again. Remember, I had it here. I've been using this area and a few times before. Look here, I had here sell, and I had buy here, and also I had buy here above the channel. That's why this area I still consider. So from here, if it will go up here, so that would be, if it will go up next, once again in the same area here, and I will not move the levels, because if this would be a good a possibility if it will start to consolidate between these two, so that would be useful. For example, use this level, placing the pending order above 20 pips for buy, and that level for placing the pending orders to sell. So even here, I would probably still rather to see if it will drop more from the level. Well, except it's 40 pips, so yeah, if it will start to consolidate around here or slightly above, then yes, I might use this level as a placing pending order sell, even though for maybe just go for 10 pips once again, and a possible will be hit by this level, stop, I mean by this level, but still possible to have 10 pips at least. So it's quite strong level. I mean, yeah, we've been stopped here a few times and had a little bit of like false breakout here and here and here, and so it could quite be once again, so be careful with this area, I would say, because it might have just a little bit and then could turn around. So it could be a lot on the news events. So okay, so that's my view on dollar yen. I will be looking at this area and next one around here, and of course if it will break this one somewhere in the middle, quite possible will be slowing down, and then possibility either correction or continue the way down to the next level. So that's my view on dollar yen. Australian dollar, okay, we have a 4-hour chart, and it just had a fall, as you can see here. So that was the entry point. I didn't go for trades with Australian dollar, and so you see, but that was the consolidation, that was the channel, and yeah, could have catch a good 100 pips at least movement down. So anyway, touched one of my levels. You can see just touched it. It is from the previous bottoms. Remember, we had this a bit of the downtrend channel, and where it's had a bit of correction, jumped out of it, and then returned. So that's why understandable why we had here quite a big pullback, you see, because it's quite expectation was of the stopping by that level. So right now, once again, I don't see an entry point. Yes, of course, after such a big drop inside the downtrend channel, I would expect a correction, right? A corrective move and up move inside that area. So let's do this one. Is going to be a strong level, I presume. And once again, there is no entry point. We're too close to that level, and it's just nothing, right? It just had a pure drop based on those news, okay? And from here, what do I wait? Where I will be looking for placing my orders if it will go more down again and start to do consolidation. So to be honest, for the best, I would rather to see it drop actually to the next level, but it might not do so. It's quite a bit of level, I would say. Let's just see, we had a previous bottom, it's like really bottom, that one you see, and yeah, it could be well, I mean, it's not representing full picture because we're right here somewhere. It's just not loading fully, but we're right here somewhere. It's not too far to this level pretty much, and it's quite a strong level. And well, if it will break, it could be a really big move. But of course, it didn't have any corrections yet, proper one. So of course, any moment, everybody right now expecting a turning point. When is it going to turn around? And I have to tell you, if there wouldn't be coronavirus, it would have turned around already. But because of coronavirus, it keeps it going down more and more. So the ease of coronavirus news would help, but at this moment, I don't know. So that's why I don't see it coming. So that's why for Australian dollar, from my point of view, the best entry would be in here. So if it will drop down into this area, this is where I would possibly look for consolidation and a possibility of placing orders for buying, okay, more towards buying, because, well, anyway, like I'm saying, depends how big the account. Even if it will fall more down there and the account is enough, then of course you would sit in a drawdown for a while, and then we'll be waiting for it to return. So that's why right now I just wouldn't go, just would wait. So, and if it will go back up, so then possibly just to see if it will jump inside this area, right, or will just sit underneath, or maybe go a little bit in here, and then from here I will probably more see, okay, it had a correction, and from here we'll have a drop again. Okay, so then it would be a little bit more as we are going inside the downtrend channel. So that's why Australian dollar, just not looking at this right now, not going to go for trades unless it will go in one or another area. Okay, so like I'm saying, it's quite hard with Australian dollar just to see what the other news, economical news will be in the calendar, but with coronavirus, that's what I see. Dollar Canadian, well, the expectation, I gave you the area and it's perfect, moved up, and but still left a gap behind. Look at this, it's had a gap, and it's not a big gap, so it's only 20 pips. That's why no trading such small gaps, but it gives us an idea that the pair will come back. So, but when is it going to happen? Once again, if we will look technically, it should start it now to turn around, right? So finally we finished that move. That is one of the expectations once again. Right, we have downtrend channel and we had a correction inside the channel, and we also finished one of the movements in this little uptrend channel. Okay, and so now we would see correction in that channel and possible going down, right, close that little gap, and then either break it and go down inside that, and together with this one, so then that's what would be more kind of technical view. Okay, so going down this, now it's time for it to have a correction, but as we know, it might not happen because of the news. Unexpected coronavirus is affecting it. So what it does, it's also affecting the oil, and oil is dropping a lot. If you look at it, it's dropped a lot, and the same Canadian reacting on oil prices. So that's why, and also of course a lot of investors are investing in dollar more, and for example, like dollar CAD is a good one because it's like stronger dollar, weaker Canadian because of lower price on oil. So that's why it's more, that's why it made more move like this. And so now, I mean, okay, it gave us a little bit of wing, so possible, that's what I'm saying, it's looking technically a turning around point, but it's always a trick and could be a trap, right? So what I would do, of course, wait for now some consolidation around here. See, it started to drop, and I would wait for, let's say, confirmation, right? We will have a bit of this, it's a good area now, another good area, and for correct consolidation in here, and then I would look in a placing pending order, sell from there, back down, close a quick gap, and then possibly then it would turn around again. So, and at the same time, because of all of this news happening in the world, so the same area could be looked at a consolidation in here and placing the order buy, and it can continue all the way to the next level. So breakout quite easily, it could be a breakout point, and moving up with all of these circumstances right now on the market. So, but that's the area where I will be looking at. So you see, and of course, if it will go up, I would see this area as the next consolidation point, right? That next, and if it will go down and possibly close the gap, so if it will stuck in the same area once again, so we will see. Like I'm saying, it might just go down, have a little bit of wing right here, and then just start to sit in here, and then who knows, either go back or continue the way down to the next level. So that's my view on dollar CAD. Gold, okay, so let's see how gold performed, and it's performed pretty much is another of my expectations. You can see how, I don't know, 99% accurate my reviews of the market, right? The analysis and the ways I'm trading. So look at the gold. Gold had perfect opportunities for trading this week. It was not easy to trade, I would have to tell you. I have been trading it, and moving the stops behind was really tricky because some of the brokers didn't let me to move stops or get out from the trades when I wanted to. But see what happened. So that was our opening week. So I'm giving you the details, guys. So that's what I look into during the week and how I take my trades, and so giving you ideas, right? So here where I told you was consolidation, and I was waiting for consolidation, but the market opened with a gap, which I told you about. I warned you about it. I'm telling you all the time, look, if it could be gap. And look at this gap once again. So what I did, of course, is I was waiting for consolidation, but because happened gap, right, it's nearly 80 pips. So what I did, of course, I placed my sell order as usual. You know my video, you can watch my video once again of how I'm trading the gap. So I placed my sell pending order. So I didn't sell straight away. That's why I'm telling you guys the trick of my strategy of trading. Do not jump into the gap trade straight away. Don't do so, because look at this. If you would jump here, you would have been in such a big drawdown. So if you would have a small account, you would have just blown it. Because look at this. We had a gap start here, and it jumped. It's jumped 300 and pretty much nearly 400 pips. Not many accounts will survive it. Okay, so that's why the strategy is to place your order where it started, like where the gap opened. So I'm placing my orders, as you know, with my okay, so right now it's offline because it's not working right now because of the not online. I'm at this not online, I'm offline. So you see I'm placing my sell orders, and as I did, I placed the sold as a pending order as usual, 20 pips below, right? Okay, so just to fill in the gap, and that's how I didn't end up in this trade. So I was just sitting and waiting. So you see, look at that, it jumped up, and where did it go? First, it stopped slightly below my level, but next it moved back to exactly the level. You see where I pointed out. See how accurate my levels are, pretty much, right? I would say it's 99%. And I told you about it. The gold can easily do so. And when we were here, I was telling you, let's see where can we go, and where I took this level again. Exactly, from the history, from these two tops, I connected these two tops, and I have got this top. This is where it's reached it, right? Okay, so I mean on the monthly one, you can see it's kind of a little bit, not exactly, but on the smaller charts, it's pretty much the correct area. So that's why, guys, I know lots of you are so negative about levels, they're not working. I don't care what you think, not working for you, it's working for me. Okay, so you can see where it stopped, right, exactly at the level. So, of course, here I was actually thinking to sell straight away, but you know why? First of all, of course, I was a bit scared to do so, and I was looking at, because of the gap. So it was giving me, okay, the huge 400 pips move. It could easily go back and close that gap at some point. But what if it would have continued the way, even though it stopped by one of the levels? Well, I didn't sell straight away because of the news. Okay, I was thinking, okay, coronavirus will probably continue. It could just have a bit of consolidation, continue the way up. So I just decided to wait a little bit to see when it started to turn around. So my selling was after it started to turn around and giving me a little bit of consolidation. Here, see, that's where we go. I'm trying to show you all these ideas, how to look and think about. You see, that's where it started to consolidate. That little consolidation, and here we go. That's selling point. Okay, so that was my another sell limit, which I used again with my EA, because you know it's so stressful to trade manually. It's easier to do it with the EA, and that's it. 20 pips down, and I am in the trade, and I'm going, and then we have gap still open and started to fill it in. Then I had another sell, still remember pending order from the previous, and then we had another one, and we finally closed the gap. So that's it, guys. That's how I use my levels. That's what I'm telling you. That's why I draw those levels. That's where you can look just what and do what I do. Okay, one level, the gap gives you ideas. Okay, and it was not just that. So I also had the sell from that level. Also, once again, using my EA, I placed the pending order sell. And why did I do so? Do you remember? I showed you this little gap. Remember when we had that, I told you that at one point we will be back there, even though the gap was very, very small and we didn't trade it, but it was still a little bit open. Look at that area. That's what I'm saying. All those gaps are so helpful to show and give us the direction. I mean, you see the big guys who would have like sell right here or something, they decided to early jump into this. And they could hold on, and then you see it's turned around and you are back in wherever profit or whatever you've been doing with this. But with the smaller accounts, you don't want to do it. That's what I'm saying. Okay, but small gap, you wouldn't trade, but it gives you an idea. You see, that's why here I had the important level and another sell and another one right to the closing the gap, and that's it. So I've got out all my trades. So that's I'm giving you the details, guys. Okay, so how to trade. You're asking me the details, I'm giving it to you. That's now I have to tell you, I was really surprised at this big drop because I thought it will still continue the way up and before it will start to fill in because it's still coronavirus. But you see, the markets decided other way, okay, and possibly they started to get into more buying dollars. And so this week, once again, see, let's see, hopefully maybe again we will have some gaps, which gives us really good ideas these days what to do. At this moment, I would say there is no entry point. It's very messy now here, and still I need a bit of confirmation. I need a pair to go and start consolidation somewhere around my areas. So what I'm going to see here now as a possibility, remember I was telling you it possibly could be a shoulder and a big head, right? When we were still here, I told you it might be head, it might go higher, it might stuck in here, right, in this area easily before it will decide to make a big move. We have to just look at any options and any possibilities and then just think where to get into that trade. So right here you see it just sits above it on a bigger time frame, so it kind of above the trend channel, and so that means yes, it quite easily can just go back up again or just sit in here. That's why right now I wouldn't go into any other trades or anything else, so just wait for some consolidation. Once again, guys, if you don't want to get into trouble, just wait for it. Okay, wait. You see, you could have waited for so many months, weeks not trading, and you get something like this, really good opportunities, then you can get it if you know what you're doing. So you see right now it's nothing. It just gives us nothing at this moment. There is no way to say where it will go. So that's why right now, as I don't have an area, proper area, I would just see if it might just consolidate around here. Maybe it will have a recovery and go back to level again and start to consolidate here. So that would be one of the areas to look for entry points, right? And this possibly would be another area to look for entry points. I have a little bit of wings here, so I'm expecting it can go back in. So let's see just from here how far. You see, it's now 120, 130 pips down. So that's why I quite easily can use this area as a possible possible consolidation, right? So of course it might easily just start to consolidate somewhere around here in the middle, and so then I will see what to do with that. Okay, so if it will not go back to one or another area, and of course at the same time, if it will ignore everything and then go to any of those ones, go lower and start to do anything around here, so then we'll have a look at it. See, if gold right now is like, when I was giving you all these areas, right? Now I can't give any area except just saying I'm looking at exactly still the same levels at this moment, okay? So except something in the middle. So okay, that's my view on the gold, guys. So euro pound, and euro pound reacting on pound news, right? And it jumped up quite nicely because pound dropped quite nicely. And why that happened? Of course, because news on Brexit deal between EU and UK. So, and that's why we had this move. And right now, I didn't go for any trades with euro pound. I told you before, I'm not really confident to trade this pair. I had trades on pound dollar and pound yen, which I'll tell you in a minute. So you see now it's quite pretty much a double bottom, and I would say now I would just see where this will consolidate, either on top of the level, or it will go inside. So if it will go inside, this would be a possible good area for looking, placing the orders. So of course, I still quite negative towards pound, and I would still say, because of that, I would see euro pound is going up, but it still can be a triple bottom. It might go into correction of this movement. It was a huge movement, and it might have a bit a correction and turning around. But at the same time, it's a time for euro pound to have a bigger correction of this big movement. So it's quite easy, like I'm saying, it can go in here a little bit and then continue and go to the next level. So that's a bit of my view of euro pound between one and another level. So now we're going to pound dollar, and where you'll see a bit on a smaller time frame. So using, you see, it first, like I told you, I didn't see any entry points here because it was like nowhere for me. I wanted it to go back into this area or continue the way down. So you see exactly it did. It went back into my area, in the exact area. Look at this. So perfect, just touching it and sitting in here. So that's the perfect entry point. I've been using this level so many times. I've been showing you in my analysis. You see, I use it here and I use it here, and once again, so the same levels, like I'm telling you, and I'm still like to sell pound. Okay, I'm not going for any buy trades at this moment, only selling. And it didn't give me any interest here, it just dropped, and I didn't place any orders because these levels that could be tricky, and it's a quite strong level. You see, it's actually broke it once again, and quite gives me an idea that it should once again to cover up this, and I would think I would see it going down again. So obviously it will be based on the news on that deal between the EU and UK. So, and that's why I would still see it going down more further. So, but it might have a bit of still sitting a little bit here between these two. But if it will go, so it will. So at this moment I have no entry point, right? Okay, no entry point, because you can see here I would like to see consolidation. Okay, so if it will consolidate at this level, I will be looking to sell. I'm still not into buying. I will be looking to sell. If it will just jump up and then just will go, maybe it might break up, then I will be looking, maybe it will jump into this area and between these two levels, and I will be still looking to sell here. It might go back down. I will still be looking to sell here. I don't want to sell from this level. I'll still be looking to for sales from this level, unless this would go underneath it and start to consolidate underneath level, and I use that area, still again placing the sell orders around here. Okay, but it depends, like on the news, like I'm saying, if there will be slightly positive news, I would not still place my buy order. I would just, it will probably use in my, it will not trigger the order anyway, and I'll just sit and wait for the next opportunity and see what's happening. So I think this with the news, it's still until June something they were telling, so that's why it's quite a lot of time, and who knows, it could be very volatile, and yeah, we'll see. So pound yen, here we go, guys. Heavy drop and entry point. Here we go, levels. Okay, we started the week here. It gave me nothing here because it dropped straight away the next. It didn't do consolidation on top of it, but it consolidated between these my two levels, and I just used the same level once again to place the order sell, just like I did before once, and another one, and another one, and another one. You see, I'm telling you, I'm showing you all the same levels where I started to do so. Sell, 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 sell. So that's again, it's just had a nice pure drop. Didn't stop anywhere else, so I didn't have top ups, which is fine. And it's actually finally smashed that level. I told you it's a strong level. You see how much it's actually fall after it's broke that level. So now, of course, no entry point. We'll wait for consolidation around here, possible correction, right? Return to this area, possible. But if it will continue with the news, especially also, it's not just Brexit news, also it's yen, right? Because of the coronavirus, more people buying yen, and so it might continue way down easily to the next level. So, but we just still need confirmation, because you see how much it's jumping and how it's volatile. You see from here, for example, it's like pretty 100 pips. You see, it's 100 pips move up. So that's why let's see what's going to happen, if it will start to consolidate and or give us some pattern or anything else. Let's just see if we can connect it with this one. You see, it's like pretty much it stopped where we had previous two bottoms here. See, it's ignoring at this moment that wing, but we have to, and this is where it stops. So you see, it's pretty much here. It might have this consolidation, right? Given a little bit of maybe a little flag or a little triangle, and continue the way down. So I probably just leave it here, but it's not as exact and not will be correct because we still have, now it's already done. See, that's dropped quite nicely. So yeah, let's just leave it here and see where it starts to consolidate. Okay, that might be the area. So that would be my first area to look at. So guys, well, that's it. I tried to be as detailed, giving you more details as possible, and giving you the insights of how I trade and how I look at entry points around my levels. You can see how pretty accurate my levels are, and how they're useful for looking for entry points, successful entry points. You see, with all my entry points, just using the levels, just using my system, would be no losing trade at all this week. So thanks for watching. If you like my video, don't forget to subscribe, like, press the bell, you will not miss new ones. And of course, if you would like to use the line trader, which is very helpful in trading in these like stressful situations and not miss good trades, because like, you know, some of my trades with gold, I just placed my levels and I walked away, then I came back, I had a great result with it. So I took my trades and closed them where I wanted it. So find the information in the description under this video. So happy trading everyone, and I see you later. Bye.